Good morning. My name is Patricia Hervías and I work in Indra in the U-SPACE and UTM department. Today, my presentation is about enabling drone application through a safe integration in the airspace. And we will be treating three different parts. So the first one is the U-SPACE roadmap. This is the framework that Europe is developing today to allow the integration of drones in their space. So this first part is like the generic vision of the European approach to drone integration. The second part is a practical use case of a project that Indra is working, this Comfort Drones project. And then the third part is a briefly summary of Indra activities in this field of drones, U-SPACE, and UTM. So let's start with the first point, the U-SPACE roadmap. So today there are lots of different drones applications, civil applications. So we can use drones for agriculture, to monitor the crops, to detect some disease or whatever. Then we also have mobility and transport. Maybe transport, we can think in the air taxi, maybe it's a little in the long term, but we have logistics and delivery. There are a lot of big companies interested in this part, in delivering a package or blood or medicines or all these type of things. Emergencies and security, as we can see in the picture, maybe to save some people in some disaster, natural disaster or emergency situation. And then the last one application that I can think right now is inspections and photography. This is maybe one of the most used today applications for inspecting power lines or inspecting roads, and photography, all type of photography, just for leisure, but also to afterwards analyze the images and obtain some information. So all these drone applications shows that there are a high potential in the drone sector. To put this in numbers, in figures, we have here an estimation of the drone market value. We estimate that by 2050, the drone market will value 50 billion of euros worldwide. In Europe, this amount will be 15. For example, my country, Spain, we expect around 5.2 billion. So this amount of money is huge. It's a lot of money, and we need to increase the drone activities. We need to boost these activities. So what is the issue with this? That we have drone activities, but these activities impact on the safety. Maybe you have seen in the news that an aircraft has impacted with a drone, or that some airport has to be closed due to a drone flying in the proximities of the runways. We need to allow the drone activities, but at the same time, maintain the current safety in the airspace. For this, we have the U-SPACE. So the U-SPACE is the services, the set of services of the tools that will enable the increase of drone activities, but at the same time, we will maintain safety, okay? So what is U-SPACE? And this definition is not mine, it's from the European Union, from ECSEL Joint Undertaking, that is the one that is defining U-SPACE in Europe. So U-SPACE is a set of services and procedures that rely on a high level of digitalization and automation. And this set of services will allow a large number of drones to fly in a safe, secure, and efficient manner. We will see later, but this framework is divided in different steps, from a more limited approach to enable a huge amount of traffic totally integrated with the rest of outdoors. And why we need this U-SPACE? We have seen before, we need to keep the safety in the airspace. Imagine this situation in this picture. We have a city, and then we have an industrial area, an airport, and so on. So the drones flying in the sky impact directly in activities on the ground. So the risk of the operation will depend in the area of the drone is flying. So these drones are new actors and will be flying in different airspace. That is the low level, that is an airspace that is not currently occupied by manned aviation or big aircrafts. Then, if we have these new actors, we have new risk. The new risks for the ground and also for in the air, with for helicopters or parachuting or all these actors that are currently using the airspace. We are introducing a new one that is not controlled. So we need to be careful because there are a whole new set of risks. And then to control, to manage this new actor that are the drones, we need a supervision and a regulation and a new authority that takes the control of this problem. So we call USP, UTM service provider, to the authority that will be managing the airspace. And then we have the system of the tool that is the UTM. This UTM stands for Unmanned Traffic Management, and is the U-SPACE services are compiling this type of tools of UTM. What will be the environment, the normal regular environment of U-SPACE? So here we have an example. We have, as we have explained before, the USP, UTM service provider, and that we can have several companies providing different services to the final user that are the drone operators, the US operators that we can see in the left side of the screen. These drones will connect with the USPs to provide the data, the positioning, the identity, all the information needed for the authorities to identify who is flying, where is flying, what is flying, in order to be able to keep the safety. Then, in the European vision, in the U-SPACE environment that we are talking here, the USP, the UTM service provider, we will be connected with a common information service provider. This will be a central entity that we will provide some information like a single point of truth for some information like, for example, maps or geography, obstacles, some information that need to be common and known by everyone. So the SIS component will provide this one. And then on the other side, in the upper side of the slide, we have the ANSP, the air navigation service providers, so the current ATM systems that need to know the information of the drones, especially in airports area, because airports are usually in the big cities, are very close to the city, and then the area of interest, let's say, of the airport overlaps with most part of the city. Then when a drone is flying to deliver some package or whatever, is flying in the area of the airport because it's 8 kilometers at least. Then we need to have the information in the airport. We need to have the information in the control tower in order to be able to allow safe operations. So the controllers can know where the drones are flying. So the USP through the FIS will exchange information with the ANSP and also with local authorities, for example, police or firefighters or whoever that needs to know who are these drones that are flying in my city. Okay, so this is a quick view of the environment that we expect in Europe in the near future. This U-SPACE regulation is being drafted right now and we will be published very soon, I think, by EASA. And we have said that the U-SPACE is a set of services. So we have here, I don't want to read all the services, but we have here an exhaustive list of all the services that we are foreseeing in the U-SPACE. We have divided it in 4 different groups: U1, U2, U3, and U4, that are also a kind of roadmap in the time. So in the U1 are the foundation service U2 are initial, and U3 are enhancement, and U4 are full services. So we will start with U1 and we will be progressing step by step until U4. Some basic services, for example, are registration or awareness, that is to have a map where you can see where you can fly, where you don't can fly, to have in U2 some flight plan preparation so you can plan your flight, some tracking, so the authority can monitor where you are flying, definition of no drone zones, weather information, monitoring, citizen reporting service, a full set of services that we will allow, as we say, to enable this drone sector, civil drone sector, that is developing right now a little bit slowly. So with these services, we can accelerate this progression. So this is the general vision of the U-SPACE that is being developing in Europe. In the United States, they call it UTM, and there are similar concepts, and they are working also, and there are a lot of synergies. And in order to prove and to test these services in Europe, a lot of companies and air navigation service providers and so on are working in different projects, R&D projects today, but there are also some real deployments to test and to start deployment the U-SPACE. So in this case, the first project that I would like to talk today is Comfort Drones project. This Comfort Drone project is a project that has started in October 2019 and will end in September 2022. We are 50 partners, that is a lot. And Indra is the project coordinator, and we have CA plus technical coordinator. The budget is almost 30 million euros and is funded by ECSEL Joint Undertaking. What is the objective of the Comfort Drones? So Comfort Drones wants to go more in the applications of the drone and enabling this application, so to boost all the sector and all the economic potential. So the main objective is to provide a framework of the key technologies and components for safe and autonomous drones for civilian services. As we say, we are only talking about civilian drones. How we do this in Comfort Drones? First, we will ease the integration and customization of the embedded systems of the drones. Then also we will enable and we will use drones that use safe autonomous decisions. We ensure the deployment of trusted communications. That is very important to have all the communication between the drones and the ground control station and the U-SPACE services, that all these communications are trusted in real time is essential. We would like also to minimize the verification and design efforts for complex drone applications to ease the process for the operators to be able to use drones very easy in a very different applications. And then last but not least, the sustainability impact. So try to be sustainable in this development of this new sector or industry. All this is supported by the service and application that are going to be deployment and tested during the Comfort Drones project. So how is the project structure? So we have 5 different domains that corresponds with different society problems or sectors. So we have first transport, we have construction, we have logistics, we have surveillance and inspection, and then we have agriculture. So our 50 partners, we are divided in these different 5 use cases, and we are going to develop a vertical application, the whole application, to solve a use case regarding one of these domains. In this case, Indra is leader of the transport case, and later on we will talk a little bit more in detail about this first use case about transportation. Regarding this, here I would like to take a minute just to distinguish between ECSEL and CSAR, because I have said before that the U-SPACE framework is developed in Europe by ECSEL Joint Undertaking, and ECSEL Joint Undertaking is the one that founds comfort drones. So the relation is direct. Comfort drones wants to provide this framework to the safe and autonomous drones, to enable these safe and autonomous drones, and U-SPACE will provide the services that these drones need to use to fly safely and be able to fulfill the mission or the operation that we want in comfort drone. So let's see a little bit on detail. The use case one is the one of traffic management, but no air traffic, road traffic we are talking right now. So the use case is that we have monitoring. We have a tool that is the ORUS, that is Traffic Control Center for Roads, that give you a notification or alert if there are some problems in the road or some accident and so on. And then we want to use the drones as a sensor, as a monitoring device of these roads. So we have the drones that we are using Mantis, that is an Indra produced drone, another commercial drones from DJI and so on. And then we have also the U-SPACE services. So what will be the example, let's say? So we have a road, we have the accident, the drones, the ORUS Traffic Control Center detects the accident and send the drones to analyze the problem to see if it's a crash or if they need to send some police and some firefighters depending on the severity of the crash and so on. So they want to send a drone there. In order to send the drone there, they connect with the U-SPACE services to request a priority flight, to request a geofence where all the drones will be forbidden except by the drone of inspection of the accident and so on. So there is a direct relation between the road control center, road traffic control center, and the U-SPACE services. They work together just to be able to monitor and to solve the situation of the car crash or the accident in the road. We also have here Rozas Aerodrome, that is a drone, a specific aerodrome that is in Lugo in Galicia, in the north of Spain. And we will test here our developments. As I explained before, we have at the left side in purple the traffic control center, the ORUS, and then we have the U-SPACE service, the UTM, and we have all the information exchange in order to have a complete use case since the resolution of the problem, that is the need of having a monitoring in a road, and we solve the whole value chain, let's say. So this is our comfort drones project, and now I'm going to jump to other activities. So first, I would like to introduce some numbers about my company. Maybe this slide should be the first, but I prefer to put it here just to keep the motion until the end. So maybe lots of you know Indra, but in case you don't know, we are a very big company with a lot of different divisions, UTM and ATM, that is where I work. But then we have transport, defense, security, and we have MUSE, that is a more consultancy and IT area. Our revenues in 2019 were 3.2 billion euros. We have presence in more than 100 countries, and we are almost 50,000 employees. These numbers maybe change a little bit because of this 2020 strange year, but these are numbers of 2019. So as you say, multiple industries, multiple examples. I will jump this. And then here we are going to focus in U-SPACE and ATM. So air traffic management, that we have 4,000 deployments, more than 100 years. So, and this number I like a lot is if you are traveling, that no one is traveling right now, but when we travel again, 85% of the flights in the world use in some moment of the flight the Indra technologies. So this is amazing. So our presence in this ATM sector, air traffic is huge, and we have a lot of experience. So we want to leverage this experience to apply to U-SPACE and UTM, because we know the clients, we know the problems, and we are working on the solution. So what is our solution for U-SPACE services? So we have Indra Drones, that is a platform, is a set of services that will help us to create a better aerospace, an aerospace where drones and main aircraft will be totally integrated. So what we can do with Indra Drones, we can manage safely and efficiently the increasing US traffic that we have right now in all the stages before, during, and after the flight. We can manage the airspace, adding in real time flight restrictions, no drone zones, and so on. We monitor in real time the flight of the drone, so a policeman can have in a tablet all the drones that are flying in the neighborhood. And we integrate this U-SPACE solution with ATM and also with other counter USAs, also with some system that detects the bad guys, so drones that are not authorized. So we have this Indra Drones product, and as I say, it covers the whole set of services of U-SPACE. Here we have our names, let's say, for this set of services, and we have divided in pre-flight, in-flight, and post-flight. So we have the registration and identification, geo-awareness, flight planning, flight authorization, and state confliction. And then once that you have landed on the takeoff, the one that you are flying, we have level identification, traffic information, the ground control station, the tracking, all the monitoring. And once that you have ended your flight, we have full set of analysis tools to see the data that you have collected during your flight. And where are we using these services or these technologies? So in which project? So the first project that I would like to introduce is Bubbles. This is a project founded by ECSEL Joint Undertaking. And it has started last year in April, and it will end in October 2022. And the idea is to provide the separation services for drones, because right now we know that aircraft should be separate 5 miles or whatever, depending on the airspace. But for drones, there is no definition of what is the separation minima that is safe. So we are studying this, defining safety bubbles and the procedures and algorithms that are necessary to avoid the collision between these bubbles. So the partners of this project are Universidad Politécnica de Valencia, Coimbra University, Universidad de Roma Sapienza, and Eurocontrol. So here we have some images showing the idea of the bubbles that should maintain the lateral and longitudinal separation in order to ensure the safe flight of the drones in their space. Another project is the Corux one. This project is also financed by CESAR. It's a very large demonstration that has 9 different validations in different countries of Europe. That the idea is to test at very advanced concepts of urban air mobility, especially focus on delivery. Indra is participating in the Spanish validation, the Spanish use case, that is located in the in Barcelona area. And it's very important because we will fly very close to urban areas and just 10 kilometers away from Barcelona El Prat airport. So it's a very difficult area. We need to have coordination with the air traffic control system, and I read that is the Spanish navigation service provider is also involved in this project just to give us support for this integration between U-SPACE and ATM. And the idea is to validate flight planning, strategic conflictions on services, and then also tracking, conformance monitoring, the confliction between drones, and the interaction with ATM. So it's a very ambitious project, and we will see the flights, I think, at end of this year, beginning of 2022. And last, we have another project, Aura. The project Aura is also funded by CESAR. This is a Wave 3 CESAR project. And this is totally focused on the integration between U-SPACE services and ATM. So right now there are a lot of standards and protocols that allows ATM system to communicate between them and with the different actors that are involved. And we want to use some of these standards, the SWIM standards, also to communicate drone information. So the idea is to try to reuse as much as possible the current SWIM developments, but if it is necessary to set new requirements and new standards, just to allow that the drone information is shared seamlessly with the ATM system. And in this way, we will enable a safer flight of drones, and it will be possible to fly drones in some areas that right now is not possible, maybe close to an airport or in a city, as I say, that usually the cities are so close to airports. So the idea is to develop this interface just to allow the total integration of the drones in the airspace. So the drones will be one actor more, and we will be able to fly drones easily, that is today, because the safety will be increased a lot with the outcomes of Aura. So this is all on my side. I hope that you have liked my presentation. And now I think it's time for questions. So thank you very much and good morning. Bye.